The courtroom was silent, too silent. You sat in the second row, hands clenched together, your heart pounding against your ribs like it wanted to escape. The world smelled like dust and old files, but mostly like fear. Your mother stood in the witness box, metal handcuffs on her wrists. Her eyes were tired, her hair messy, but she looked stronger than you had ever seen her. Mrs. Joy, is it true that you stabbed Mr. Han in his own home? The prosecutor asked your mom. She lifted her chin. Yes, I did. A wave of whispers spread across the room. You admit to unalive, yet you claim it was justified. Not justified, necessary. Necessary to take a man's life. Your mother's voice trembled, anger hidden beneath. He took my daughter's life first. You swallowed hard, your throat burned. Jungkook stood beside her, tall, uniform pressed, jaw tight. He couldn't speak, he wasn't allowed to, but his eyes kept shifting between your mother and you. He was the lead officer in this case, and your husband too. Worried, protective, hurting for you. He knew everything. Mrs. Choi, you say he hurt your daughter, but this is based only on your word. There is no medical record, no police report, nothing. Because I ignored my daughter when she needed help. She turned her face toward you, her eyes were on you among the crowd, filled with tears, guilt, and regret. I was too blinded by the love. I was scared of losing a husband again. I got so selfish that I didn't even listen to my own daughter's silent cry for help. I let her suffer. I let her feel alone. Tears fell down from your eyes. Her voice cracked once, then turned sharp again as she looked back at the judge. Because I ignored her. Jungkook's fingers curled into fists behind his back. The prosecutor turned toward you. We called Mrs. Wyan to the stand. Your legs felt weak, but Jungkook's gaze locked with yours. You can do this. His eyes said it, loud and clear. You stood, walked to the witness stand, palms sweating. You sat. The judge nodded. Speak the truth, only the truth. Mrs. Wyan, is it true that you have accused the deceased of inappropriate acts? You inhaled. The memory stabbed you like broken glass. Yes, tell the court what happened. Your hand shook, but your voice didn't. You looked at Jungkook and saw the silent strength that he was trying to give you. Don't tremble. It's your time to punish the evil. That's what he said before he brought you here. He used to visit my house often, pretended to care, pretending to be family. You paused for a few seconds as your voice trembled. One night he waited until everyone was asleep and he locked the door behind him. Your voice became tighter. He did things no man should ever do to a girl. And when I told my mother, you glanced at her, tears filled in your eyes. No one believed me. My stepfather called me a liar. And later your stepfather arranged your marriage to him. Your breath shook harder. He tried to sell me. Your tears finally fall, as if I was something he could trade. Gasps filled the courtroom. Your mother looked down, guilt dragging her entire soul down with it. But Mrs. Joy had no right to kill him. You snapped. He had no right to destroy me. Your voice raised for the first time. The courtroom went silent again. He made me feel dirty, worthless. He took away my childhood. My mother found out only when it was too late. She lost everything trying to save me. Your law wouldn't punish him. My mother did, and she did nothing wrong. Your mother finally cried silently, tears falling straight to the floor. You stepped down, and as you passed Jungkook, for a moment you stopped breathing. He didn't touch you, he couldn't, but his eyes, full of pain, knowing what you had been through, full of anger at those who failed you, full of devotion, promising he would never let anyone hurt you again. You sat back down, but his stare stayed on you, a silent shield. The judge dismissed everyone. Your mother was escorted out in chains. You ran to her before they took her through the back corridor. She cupped your face with shaking hands. I'm sorry, my baby. I'm so sorry. I should have believed you. I should have protected you. You cried into her shoulder the first time in years you hugged her without fear. You did protect me, even if it was late. Time's up, the guards said. They began pulling her away. Don't let fear decide your life. Jungkook, he will take care of you. He's a good man, better than I ever was as a mother. She looked directly at Jungkook. Please keep my daughter safe. She deserves the world. Jungkook bowed his head slightly, a vow in his silence, and then she was gone. Jungkook approached you softly. Ryan, let's go home. I'll drop you. You looked at him. He sighed, knowing how you were feeling. Don't worry, she'll be fine. Let's go. You got into his car. You stared out the window, everything blurry through your tears. Jungkook kept glancing at you, worried, helpless, angry at fate. She'll be okay. I promise she'll be okay. You didn't answer. He tried again. You're not alone anymore. Your chest tightened. Every word he spoke felt like safety, like strength, like a home you never had. You were born into privilege, a mansion where chandeliers glowed brighter than the moon. Your father was a name the world respected, a man who earned both success and loyalty. His closest friend had been there since before the wealth, before the power. John Tae-hyun, Jungkook's father. They trusted each other more than they trusted themselves. When you came into this world, your father held you like a fragile miracle. And beside him stood little Jungkook, only 7, dressed in a tiny suit, staring at the newborn girl who didn't yet know what sorrow was. That day, a promise was exchanged between two families, a promise that one day, when you both had grown, Jungkook would stand beside you as your husband, your shield, your forever. A childish vow, but destiny listens to children more than grown men. Life, however, did not care for promises. Your father died when you were too young to remember his voice. The world's warmth dimmed instantly. Your mother remarried to a man who hid his cruelty behind charm and respect. The house you grew up in became your silent nightmare. Pain visited you in the form of a man your stepfather called a friend, a man who stole more from you than anyone ever should. And you were left unhurt. Your mother didn't see your wounds because she chose to see love in a place where there was none. By 16, you had learned how loud silence can scream. Your stepfather, hungry for money and influence, decided to sell you off to the same man who had already destroyed your childhood. Marriage, he called it, a trade, a transaction. You became a number in his greed. But when your mother finally uncovered the truth, too late yet not late enough, something inside her snapped. She took the life of the man who ruined yours. She surrendered to the consequences, ready to burn herself just so you could breathe freely again. Before turning herself in, she went to the last person she trusted, Jungkook's family. The promise from years ago resurfaced like fate demanding to be honored. There was no wedding dress, no celebration, no music. There were just signatures, a quiet exchange of vows, and a trembling girl who didn't know what safety felt like. Jungkook didn't marry you out of romance or duty, nor out of pressure. He married you because, even as a child, he had vowed to protect you, and some promises carve themselves into the soul. He brought you to his home, not a palace but a place built with peace. He gave you a room where the air didn't feel like a threat. He placed no expectations on your shoulders, not love, not closeness, not even conversation. He respected your silence, and for the first time, silence wasn't suffocating. He never touched you, he never questioned your pain, he never demanded what he knew you couldn't give. He lived beside you like a guardian would, quietly, firmly, patiently. Jungkook grew into his police uniform with purpose, not to show power, but to protect those who needed strength, especially you. Every day, without saying a single dramatic word, he proved that not every man in your story would be a villain. Through him, you learned something you had lost long ago. Safety can exist, people can be kind, home can be a person. He became the calm after your storms, and maybe someday he would also become your sunlight. The drive back home felt longer than any journey you had ever taken. Outside, the city was alive, cars honking, lights flickering, people laughing, but inside Jungkook's car, the world was painfully quiet. You sat with your hands wrapped around yourself, staring out the window. Your reflection looked like a stranger, tired eyes, trembling lips, tears dried unevenly on your cheeks. Jungkook didn't push you to speak, but every red light, he would steal a glance at you. When the car finally stopped outside the house, he turned the engine off and gently said, "Ryan, we are home." You didn't move, your body was in the seat, but your mind was still in that cold room, or maybe still trapped in the moments long before that. He unbuckled his seatbelt and turned fully toward you. "You don't have to pretend to be okay with me." Your throat tightened instantly as if someone clutched your voice and refused to let go. You shook your head, and when you finally spoke, your voice came out shaky. "If I start talking, I won't stop crying." His heart ached. He has seen you silently breaking from inside, and he just wished he could make you open up. It breaks him to see you silently falling apart. He leaned closer. "Then cry, cry as much as you need. You don't have to be strong tonight." Those words hit harder than anything in the courtroom. Your lips parted, but instead of words, a sob fell out. One, then another, and suddenly your whole body collapsed into trembling tears. He didn't hesitate, not for a second. Jungkook unbuckled your seatbelt, reached out and pulled you to him gently and carefully, like you were made of fragile petals. Your forehead rested on his chest as you cried into him, the fabric of his shirt growing damp beneath your tears. His hand cradled the back of your head, the other rubbed your trembling shoulder. "I'm tired, Jungkook, and scared, really scared. You don't have to be anymore because I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." Your cry turned heartbreaking. Why did life become like this? I didn't do anything. Why did no one believe me? His jaw tightened with anger, not at you, never at you, but at the world that had failed you. Some people only believe what is easy for them to accept. You grabbed his shirt tighter. "My own mother. She didn't believe me, Jungkook." I cried. "I told her everything, but she trusted that man, completely fell in his traps." He gently pulled back just enough to cup your face. "She believes you now. She fought for you. She gave up everything to protect you." Your tears blurred his face, his eyes soft and burning at the same time. "That's why I'm scared. What if they take her away forever? What if she gets blamed for everything he did? What if I lose her too?" Sam brushed away your tears, slow and careful. "Look at me." You forced yourself to meet his gaze. What you saw there wasn't pity, it wasn't discomfort. It was war, a silent vow to destroy anything that dared to hurt you again. "I will not let anything happen to her. I will prove she did what she had to save you." Your shoulders shook harder. "And your stepfather?" His voice turned cold, steel replacing warmth. I will find him. I will drag him to court with my own hands. He will pay for everything he has done. You stare at him through tears. There was no hesitation, no doubt, no question in his voice, just pure conviction. Why are you doing all this? His heart visibly clenched. You saw it in the way his breath paused. He leaned in just a little closer because you deserve protection before anyone hurt you. Because I promised your father that I would take care of you. Because you are my wife and I refuse to let your story end in pain. You sobbed again, but this time there was relief inside your tears. Slowly, you let yourself sink completely into his arms. His hand rested on the back of your head, his lips pressed briefly to your hair. Not romantic, not rushed, just comfort, just presence, and just safety. For the first time in years, you cried without fear. Slowly, Jungkook guided you to the bed. He didn't say anything else. He just held you as you cried into his chest. One hand gently stroked your back, the other pressing your head close to his heartbeat, because that's what he wanted, for you to feel alive, protected, and his. He could feel your tears soaking through his shirt, but he didn't mind. He only held you tighter. He remembered everything. He remembered the day you were born, how his father rushed home excitedly saying, "She's here, your future wife is here, you must protect her." You were just a tiny newborn when he held your finger for the first time and babbled a childish promise. "I'll marry you when you grow up." You had no idea, but his loyalty began right there. Then life happened. His father died shortly after yours did. His family moved abroad for years, but you were always in his memories. Every single time someone asked him what kind of a girl he wanted, his heart only had one name, yours. He searched your face now, the girl he never forgot, broken and scared but still breathing, he thought. If only I had been there, I would have burned the world before letting anyone hurt you. You shifted slightly, whispering in a shaken voice, "Can you stay? I don't want to be alone tonight." Jungkook didn't even wait a second. "I wasn't going anywhere." He settled beside you on the bed, letting you curl into him. Your fingers holding his shirt didn't loosen, not even when your crying slowed, not even when sleep started pulling you away. Jungkook watched your eyes flutter shut, and he gently brushed away the remaining tears on your cheeks. He whispered into your hair, soft, true, unshakable. "Fate brought you back to me, and I won't let you go again. Never." He pressed a protective kiss on your forehead. Then he stayed awake the entire night, guarding the woman he had always been meant to love.